I totally forgot. Oh man, running to get my drink here.
Well, while Colin is running to get his bev, let's get it kicked off so we can get started proper, right and prompt. Welcome to Missing the Homies. This is the show where I bullshit with my homies. And this month, welcome back, Colin.
What's happening?
So we're doing a little comic book club, like we said last time. We're starting. Well, we're going to be talking sort of Azrael, but before we do that, Colin, good to hang.
Yeah.
Glad you.
It's not gonna work well, but
Cheers.
What you drinking today?
I got a baby can of cherry Coke.
Oh, nice. There you go. Hell yeah.
For those times when you just need a little nip. I understand why people would carry flasks.
Yeah.
Except,
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. That whatever. What is that? Like 8-ounce can or 6 ounces? Like those are so perfect. I say that for beer, for pop. Like it's a good amount.
7.5.
Okay.
I would say it's pretty good. It's good for. Yeah, no, it is because it's like more than like. I don't know. I could get like two good.
Sometimes you don't want the full 20 ounce,
Well,
or
especially
whatever. 12.
especially in like a bottle. I've noticed like the past couple of bottle, and I mean I've noticed it for a couple of years, but like those last like maybe 4 or 5 drinks, especially out of a plastic bottle, just take like all the sugar is just in it, and it just like hurts my teeth. Like this,
Yeah.
but I will say these cans taste a little weird.
Do they?
Like, I don't know if it's the can or the amount, but it like tastes a little different.
I actually, I supply my office with all the pop snacks and all that stuff from Meyer, and I left like
From
two
Meyer,
12-pack.
you're not even getting it at Mike's.
We don't even have cans like that in my. Actually, we have 0 cans in my store, so it's crazy. But,
Zero cans at all?
0 cans, yeah, all 20 ounces. That's it. Or is it? Yeah, it's 20 ounce. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just I left them out in the winter. Like I'm talking like 1 12-pack left of Coke. I left it out, and then I brought it indoors, and now people are starting to drink them. And low key, I mean, they're like, "Ew, what's this sludge?" And it's just because of the temperature change. I think like
Oh,
like sticky
really?
at the bottom. Like I don't know what the extreme cold to regular temperature to fridge did to it,
Yeah.
but I guess I put it in the refrigerator too quick and refrigerator, and yeah, it's like
Interesting. So it's got to be that quick change because
yeah, I think so.
I don't know how many.
Normal.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know how many times I've done that regularly.
Yeah.
That's wild. Anyways, we'll come back next week with our liquor store update as we do.
For sure.
So Colin, like I said, dog, I'm so fucking pumped to talk about this.
Yeah, it was sweet. Okay, and you want to laugh? I actually had the first issue too. So I thought like
So we both.
it was crazy.
We
It was weird. I
both
didn't want
had
to
it.
say it over text because I was like, yeah, I'll just tell this guy. But urban legends, like one of the urban legends. So I told you I'd read it like this guy somewhere.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize they sort of. Well, I guess that one story they recycled. Maybe they recycled other ones from other comic books at some point. But I know for certain that the Batman Beyond one was a brand new issue, and some of the others were for sure because they were like unique stories tied to. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it was weird. So I've read it. That was crazy. But then I went on to read the whole thing, and it was actually really cool.
So you read the Dark Knight of the Soul, the one with the literal cameo of Batman
Yes. Yeah.
as the single panel of Batman.
Yeah.
So that's the one that I have too. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. So we both have.
It was not.
So I almost picked up an Urban Legends the other day because my train got diverted. There was a fire on the tracks, so I had to get off. So I got off like right by Chicago Comics.
Okay.
Yeah, we were right there. So I was like, I asked Nate to come pick me up, and I was like, I got some time. The comic book shop closed in like 20 minutes. I was like, I'm just gonna go pop in. So I was flipping through. I guess I didn't fully understand what you meant when you were explaining the urban legends because I was flipping through it, and it's just like a bunch of those little stories, which I thought was super cool because I picked up the one that
Oh, you got one?
No, so the
Oh,
one that I picked up at the comic book shop was the so the artist Nicola. How were you saying his last name in your head?
dude, I'd have to read it again. I don't know. Nicola. It's too. It's not focusing. It's all good. Ah,
No, wait, I got it.
oh yes. Sismesja? I don't know. That's a weird one.
Okay, so
Probably
watched
got to
like I watched like 6 videos this morning on my way to work trying to find an interview with this guy so I could hear his name being said, and I didn't
unpack.
find anything. But
Oh wow.
I was saying it, Nicola Sismenja too. But he did the art on another urban legends book that I thought was really, and that was the one I was flipping through, and I was like, because it had a Batman Beyond on the front, and I was like, oh, this looks cool.
Yeah, that
Um,
was the only one with the Batman Beyond issue in it out of like the 20 or so books.
well, I was trying to flip through it, and I didn't see the one with Batman Beyond. He was literally just on the cover. Maybe we picked
No,
up
he's got to
different
be
ones.
at the end because then it went on to say Batman Beyond to return in 2023 or something like that. Or
Oh,
maybe 2024. Yeah. So what that Neo Gothic that just came out, it was alluding to it like back in September or whatever when it came out.
oh, gotcha,
So it
gotcha.
must have been at the very end. I don't know.
Yeah.
Guessing.
Because I literally like I walked in and the guy was like, "Hey, just so you know, we're closing in 10 minutes." So I like literally flipped through it. I didn't
Uh-huh.
like
Okay.
get to look at
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I thought that was funny because I fully didn't understand what you were saying, that it was like just slivers of stories.
Hmm.
Um, but I kind of liked that for the beginning of this book because I yeah, like so this is somebody who I thought was just like so cool. But I didn't know that he was like a whole like he I didn't know that he was from this
Yeah.
far back into Batman's history,
I,
which is
I was gonna
crazy.
bring that up. I did not put two and two together at all until he said it, and I was like, "What? That's the Gene Paul dude!" Like, totally. Like I don't know. Of course, the art's gonna change over time. So, but yeah,
But
they made him
like
younger in here, like in the current stuff. He's a
I
lot older in that one.
I think oh no, this is the same guy. Cuz I was going to say
Yeah.
wasn't this his dad? But no, this
Oh,
is
maybe. No, oh, he said it was him.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
he
he
said it
said
was
he
him.
went through.
He's like, "Yeah, I bloodied Batman's mantle." Um
Yeah, bro, he was on a killing spree, bro.
So that's okay. So that's where I kind of wanted to start with this book. Um, because to me, my intro was that one single issue, Dark Knight of the Soul, that we both read. Um,
Yeah.
but I so have you known about him? Because have you read a lot of Batman, like older Batman, or
Maybe three or four issues max. I got that storyline, like that bit where he was Batman, and then like Bruce retraining to take the mantle back, and this guy's programming with like he like fought against Batman. I don't know if he fought Batman. I forgot how it played out, but he
yeah,
like refused to give up the mantle. So I'm
and
pretty sure
Batman
they
had
did end up like Robin was always worried. He's like, dude, this guy's going over the edge. His programming's taking over, whatever. And then this all clicks as soon as I like reread all this because it'd been so long. Wish I'd no, but yeah,
that was.
it's cool.
I thought it was so cool because I mean I pick I've found that through reading a lot of comics, because like you said, like I feel like once you read a lot, you start to pick up like certain artists you like, certain styles you like certain stories. I have come to find out that I pick stuff based on it just off if it looks cool. Like this, I pick comics how I pick craft beer sometimes. If the
Mhm.
name sounds funny or the art is cool, I'll get it. So
Yeah,
it's funny to me that like I grabbed this because I just thought it was cool. Didn't even know that this was Azrael because that's
yeah,
how I got
that's actually wild.
interested
Yeah.
in this. I was like, "Oh, this guy looks so cool." And it was like it was one of the first covers. Um I I think it was like this like chess piece one.
Okay. Yep.
And I
Yep.
was like, "Whoa." Cuz you know me, I'm not really a DC guy. I'm more of a Marvel
Sure.
guy. But
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, this
Really
just
glad you
looks
like.
so cool. Oh, it was so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Um So I like okay. So what were your big takeaways from the book? Like, what did you close the book and you were like, first thoughts, initial?
I'm I mean, I'm pretty certain the girl's dead. Like that the girl that turned into like the leader of the bad guys, so to speak. I'm blanking on her name, but that angel. But like he said he helped
Sariel.
her. Yeah, he's helped her, but he didn't. Like he saved this, but he didn't save this piece of her. So I think physically she's dead.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't I wasn't 100% certain. I feel like that's like, they're gonna bring her back or something, but
I thought it was like it was all kind of confusing. I thought
yeah.
like this story, but this story really reminded me of Assassin's Creed. Like
Yeah.
how much do you know about OG Assassin's Creed?
I don't know like anything basically, but I mean, I don't know. I could tell like I've seen clips, I guess. I don't know.
So this book, when I
Yeah.
was like after once he started talking about like the system and the system, I was like, why is this is reminding me so much of Assassin's Creed? And I mean, the OG Assassin's Creed is set in like the Templar versus the
Sure.
Assassin time. So I was like, all right, right there, already like connected these two.
Yeah.
And the fact that it went into like he has all of these memories in him,
Mhm.
I was like, oh my gosh, so confusing and so comic booky, but it was exactly like not exactly, but it was pretty much the first like the basis for Assassin's Creed. Like he's
Okay.
going back into these people's memories, and I was just like, wow. Just another thing that I was like, wow, that I I don't know what it says about me that this is my type that I was like, oh wow, this is so much like Assassin's Creed. But I also
Hmm.
really loved
That's
Assassin's
crazy.
Creed. And like I closed this, I was like, this was really fucking cool.
Yeah.
So I
That's
like
awesome.
this was so if you didn't know Assassin's Creed, now you know Assassin's Creed. This is pretty
Right.
much like
It's similar.
the story of like the animus and get oh god, I
Yeah.
love
So I was surprised nobody got sued over this then.
it's like it's so and just like how tied it is to the church. It's like it's just so similar like throughout the history in like I think it's like the second or third Assassin's Creed, you have to like assassinate the Pope, and like in history, like that Pope was
Yeah.
assassinated. I was like, what the crazy. Anyways, love the book. Let me see, Colin. I went full book club. I like wrote questions and everything.
Oh wow. Okay. For sure.
um, okay. Ask about Assassin's Creed. Done. Because I'm telling you, that was all
Yeah.
like this. I think what I
But
really enjoyed about this, especially coming from a Marvel perspective, I feel like Marvel is. If I had to like lump the two, like just broad strokes, I would say Marvel is more like. I mean, the Avengers and X-Men stuff that I read is more like colorful and comic booky and all of that. Whereas
sure.
DC, I feel like is grittier. Like this almost exclusively use like black, blood red, and I was just
Yeah.
the visuals are very different. But like coming to this, oh, and he was also with his split personality. I was like, dude, this guy's like Moon Knight.
Yeah. Yeah. That was interesting too.
And there was
Uh,
even I was gonna
I
ask,
think,
oh,
yeah.
do you have the book with you?
Uh, Also in the car. I'm pretty sure I put it in the car. Yeah.
Okay,
Pretty sure.
I was gonna ask if you had a favorite page or a favorite panel or something that stuck. This was the cover.
I,
That is the single cover that I saw, and I was like, whoa, I don't know what that is, but that's sick.
yeah. Oh, when that I guess first like the Satan, like literally the Satan guy was crawling back to the chair. That was I did like a few double takes with that. I was like I wasn't following and I had to read a little more to understand how wounded he really was. Like I was like, are his legs gone? Like what's the issue here? Like he was just whipping this guy around, like, you know. Um so I did a double take at that a few times. Yeah, I mean,
Like
it's
the,
like yeah, exactly. That's exactly. I was looking at that page. I was like, I'm not following, and then I just kept reading, and it sort of spelled it out really well.
well, I that was like me with when he gets back to the church and he um that one he calls that the monk and he's like,
Oh yeah, that was epic. Yeah,
yeah, so I know what happened, and he's like, come find me and you can call me Father Valley. I was like, this guy's his dad. I was like, I
yeah,
thought he knew his dad. And
yeah,
that part, like reading it the first time, I was like, what? And now they're just, and it within like 3 pages they're like, come help me, brother. And I
yeah.
was like, oh my
He killed his
gosh.
boy Carl. You know,
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Carl.
R.I.P. Carl. But Carl was tight though. How he pulled that knife out of his hand.
Yeah,
Um, I'm trying to think what if I had a favorite page. I took a lot of pictures, and I think I mean I really loved uh Nicola Sismenja's art, and
sure.
I followed him on Instagram. I think before this
Okay.
book came out, and I think through reading his first through reading that first single, I was like,
Uh,
oh, this guy's cool. I'm gonna be on the lookout for anything he does, but I don't. I think he just has a couple of. He does a lot of covers, um, and he did. I think he did some stuff in the um, Oh my gosh, what is it called? Urban
Urban Legend.
Legends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he did a couple of those. So I just like I loved his art. It was. I'm reading a lot of Daniel Warren Johnson right now, who did that Wonder Woman book,
Okay.
and their art style is kind of similar in that it's like the colors are really saturated and really contrasty, but they're also like super detailed. Like even just like this page, like just a random page, I feel like you can see
Yeah.
like just that purple and like
Yeah. It
the
jumps out.
yeah, I thought it was gosh, it's so cool.
Yeah.
Um I don't know that I have a there was one page. Oh my gosh. What did you think of Bane's daughter?
Yeah, so, I don't know. That was weird because they were like, "Oh, I've been trained to do this my whole life. Like this is like I don't know, like I don't know." And then she's like, she comes around. She's like, "Oh, I killed 32 people or whatever the last year." But why are you counting the last year? That's very specific. Like, okay, like she's like, "Forgive me." I was like, "What? What just happened?"
I
Okay.
I couldn't get past the part where she just like looked exactly like Bane. She was just
Uh-huh.
like a slimmer Bane.
Yeah, basically, you're right.
And especially like so I wound up like looking up uh some of the Nightfall story,
Uh-huh.
which I found. Do you have the DC app to like read
I,
comic? Do you ever
I,
do you read any digital comics?
not so much.
Okay, because I was gonna ask you if it was worth it. Um,
Okay.
because like I
Yeah, you've got enough content with Marvel. I feel like when you finish, which will be never, switch to DC. But I don't know. You know me. I'm like super petty about like two subscriptions at the same time, whether it be Netflix and Hulu or it's not anything against those two. It's just everything. Like,
that's so true. Oh my gosh,
my
this man is a free trial only.
budgeter. But oh, plot thing that threw me off with this comic though was what you call it? Like when she went on to kill all the monks. I was like, oh, like, that
Dude,
was like they
that was
alluded to it and it happened. I was like, what?
that was
Weird twist of the
crazy.
intro. Like I was
That
not expecting that.
that was one of the first things where I had to like flip back. I was like, whoa, wait. Did they like did they drop that she was crazy when you met her? And that was I thought that was intense.
Mhm.
Um what else plot Oh my gosh. No,
Yeah, and
what
then
was
that dude, like, his dad's friend, like, sent her to, I don't know. She's like, you'd help her, but no, she just killed everyone else. He just basically let her slaughter a bunch of other people.
And then how they just blamed it on him. They're like, no, you did this. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, maybe you shouldn't have given her the sword.
Yeah.
But like, I thought that was wild how he
Yeah.
was just like, I've never met you. Here's this
Did
sword.
he
And I
give it
was
to
like,
the monk at first though? Like he handed it to the dude, and then he's like, "Okay, here's the sword." He
oh,
the
yeah,
monk.
yeah, yeah. He did give it to the monk first, and she took it from him, which was, I thought it was even funnier at the
Yeah.
end when he rolled up with his like even bigger sword. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, that was sick.
Yeah.
I,
That's
I
pretty
think
funny.
like the reason why I thought this was so cool, because like walked away, I thought this was out of out of 10. I would say this is like an 8 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I agreed. I mean, it really got me to enjoy a character, that I didn't really like know a whole lot about at all. So, yeah, it was cool, and it was like a fun story, and it ended in a conclusion. Like it wasn't like to be continued. I like that we were able to just finish it, and like you said, with it being a trade and all, it was perfect.
Yeah, it was just like a nice. I feel like it wrapped up the story, and to me, I think for how I do remember what I was going to ask you because I was like, oh, Colin's a DC guy. He'll actually know this. Um, the box.
Yes. Oh, so did you notice those two characters that were fighting in the picture when the story was being told about like
Yes, yes, yes. So that's what I was going to ask you.
that was
One
your
of them.
guy, right? Or
Um,
no, it was like he's a god though. I mean, he's seen in Batman Beyond. He's seen in Justice League. I'm blanking on his name, but he was fighting. I'm pretty sure Darkseid in there.
that's okay. So these were my two questions for you. I was like,
Yeah, that was a great catch. Yeah, I forgot about. I was looking at
oh,
that. Yeah,
right here, right here. Let me see if I can get this
guy just
closer.
rides around in his whip and blasts everyone to death usually. But yeah, he's not from Apocalypse. He's from like the other place. I forgot the planet's name. For yeah, yep.
There we go. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yes.
this guy,
Mm-hmm.
what is his name? What is his name? I knew
I'm
his
blanking
name.
too.
And then you're saying this guy is not, or is Darkseid, or were you saying
Uh,
he's Lobo?
ooh, no, maybe it was Lobo. I'd have to relook, but it was definitely like two memorable, like pretty fairly large. I Lobo had his own comic series, but yeah, I don't know. I thought it was Darkseid, but maybe I was wrong because that dude always fights with with the guys in Apocalypse. But maybe
Ooh, okay. So there's actually an even closer. I feel like I've seen this guy on. What have I seen him on? The guy with the helmet. I want to say his name is Orion.
that sounds right.
Does that
Yes,
sound
man. Wow,
right?
you have a good memory. That's 99% it. Uh-oh.
But the
Shout
other
out to
person, but the other one, I couldn't figure out who it was. Um,
Okay.
but what I,
Look back.
but what I was going to ask you about the box,
Uh-huh.
is that a mother box?
That's what I was thinking, but like they were talking about it having like way other powers. Like I thought mother boxes were just used to like transport like between different planets, world, universes, whatever. Like I wasn't following how they were using it in that sense. So maybe that's a unique one or something I'm not following, but it's definitely from like Apocalypse or that other place. I forgot.
So,
Yes,
so where does Apocalypse rank on like who would be the Marvel equivalent of Apocalypse?
I mean, it's just like a planet of like bad people. Like there's like three like
Oh, okay.
sisters.
Apocalypse is a planet. I thought Apocalypse was a guy.
No, it's a place, and then there's that guy,
Darkseid.
Darkseid, yeah, that just reigns over it. Yeah. So it's him, and
Gotcha.
he's got his Furies. He's got his three Furies, and like this coach for the Furies, and so that what was the guy's name that Barda, and who's the dude that you were reading about that you were telling me about that gets out about everything, Mister Miracle, right?
Mr. Miracle. I
Yeah,
haven't
yeah.
I haven't read any. I literally almost I picked up the trade that he. Yeah, there's one where it's like literally just his face, and I
Okay,
was like, I've heard that this is a good story, but I haven't read it because he actually wrote,
he's
uh,
tied to it.
or the guy who wrote these Dark Knights of Steel, which I was going to
Okay,
recommend to you because this is like another take on the DC universe, and like
Interesting.
some characters are like kind of combined,
Okay.
and but it's all in like medieval times. Like they're like knights, and Batman has a sword. It's fucking
Okay.
sick. It's so cool.
That's crazy.
Um, but okay, so Apocalypse is a place,
Yep. Yep.
and
That's for sure.
okay, so that's okay. So Orion, and I'm gonna have to look that up because
Ryan
I
Card, yeah, Mr. Miracle. They come from like a. I'm pretty. Don't quote me on Mr. Miracle, but they. And then there's a dude that like helps Mr. Miracle train, but they come from like a place of like a bunch of like superheroes and like good people. Like their world is like perfect, basically.
oh, is that the thing where they have like there's like the two
Parallel.
Apocalypse and like
Yeah.
another planet like parallels it?
Yeah.
Oh
Yep.
my gosh, see, I don't even know how I know this because I like
Probably
that's
Justice or something.
honestly probably
Animated.
Justice League.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where I get most of my stuff from. So
I was gonna ask how like where your basis for DC knowledge came because I know you read a lot. I know you read a lot of Green Lantern
yeah.
and Teen
Damn.
Titans and Batman and or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Batman Beyond. But
Uh-huh.
like, is that your base knowledge?
I'd say that along with the Teen Titans animated show, the first one, as well as the old, like the OG Batman show, the OG Superman show, Batman Beyond show, Justice League, Justice League Unlimited. So all those had, I mean, so much content. You had what, like a good like 8 years of animation, that with all these different DC stories. So they hit on a lot of foundational DC content.
Have you watched the newer stuff? Like, I
Your
want to
Teen
say
Titans
like
on that?
Young
Or
Justice.
I've seen clips of Young Justice. It actually looks really sweet. But I don't have HBO because I'd be
Mm.
cheap now.
I'll,
Circling
I'll
back, we come full circle.
I'll give you the free trial to HBO. We'll see how much DC you can watch.
I'd have to binge the heck out of it.
Well, that because that's what I've been getting into recently is watching because I know like I remember the OG um Batman the animated series, um
Yep.
Justice League, and I actually recently tried to go back and watch, but I never watched the Superman one. I never watched the
Really?
Superman show.
Okay.
Um but I watched some of I think I watched the whole first season of Justice League. But it's so good. So
Yeah.
good.
It
Um
was.
but yeah, okay, cool. So then I meant to ask you if that was a mother box and I was like I don't
Yeah.
even really know what a mother box is, but like I'm sure Colin will know.
Sure. Yeah.
Um
As far as I know, like it was really mainly a means of like transporting anywhere in the universe or galaxy or multiple galaxies, anywhere basically in the DC universe. As far as I'm like, not on a time basis, but like a place basis.
gotcha. Transporters.
Yeah, transporters basically. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
Oh. Um yeah, so I think those were like legitimate like my two like questions that I was going to ask. Let me see. Because
great catch. I totally saw that. I was looking at that panel quite a bit too.
I really loved how they incorporated a lot of like religious artwork into the actual artwork like when
Sure.
he was becoming Azrael like one of the first times and it like there was like that panel of like broken stained glass. I was like this is like
Epic. Yeah.
just beautiful and I was like oh, I love this. Um oh, would you recommend this book to somebody? Period.
Absolutely. Yeah. I actually really enjoyed it. I didn't know what I was going to expect, but yeah, no, it was actually really cool. Um, it was a good story. I'd buy even another trade if they came out with like a similar set of stories, like a follow up. I'd actually be pretty invested.
Oh, I'll definitely let you know because I think Azrael is going to be on my list of like characters that I like that I would follow. I think especially because he has like such a small amount of like trades that
Yeah,
like if another trade, honestly, I would probably even read singles. I would I
sure.
would read singles
Same.
of.
Yeah.
So who would you recommend it to? Like, would you recommend it on just like a, oh, if you're looking for something cool, or like, would you feel that,
I feel like
or
it's a unique character. In
that's
that,
kind of what I was thinking, because he like,
yeah, I feel like there's not that are, I don't know, that are like I have a foundation tied to any certain religion. Like anyone, like, dude, can you think of anyone that's like a Hindu superhero, or like supposedly, or that the topic or focus or mindset around the whole thing like revolves around a religion, like that is like the storyline, like it, or it's tied to that heavily, I guess, or invested. No Hindu, no Muslims, like no
mm-mm.
whatever. I don't know, Jewish people. I guess all you know is that Magneto was a Jew, but that's
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I wouldn't even
it's
say
not
Magneto. Yeah.
any. I mean, it's his foundation, but it doesn't really. Yeah, it doesn't
So
even.
that's kind of what I was like thinking reading this the whole time. I had a weird version of like Catholic guilt reading this, especially the part where like the whole monastery got fucking
Slaughtered.
slaughtered. I was like,
Okay.
oh, this is kind of cool, but like also I kind of feel bad that like this is kind of cool.
Yeah,
But yeah, that is interesting that I
yeah.
can't
Like
really.
they literally, I don't know. It was weird. Like they did it like two times where he started just naming off saints and how they died. I was like, never seen a comic book do anything like that. Like that was actually weird
Yeah,
for
like
me.
that's how he like calmed him. That's what centered him, or like oh my god, like that's how he like quelled the Azrael. I really like how they. That was another thing that I was gonna say, how I that I really liked about this book is that I really love when um a penciler or whoever does the art, or maybe it's lettering. I don't know. I'm like trying to make my way through the credits of a comic book to like understand what each person does. So I think
Uh
it's
huh.
lettering that like makes the speech bubbles, but I
Sure.
love when different characters have different speech bubbles. And so like earlier, or like in this, the yellow with like the really dainty writing is Jean Paul talking, and then the like aggressive like scratched out red and black background is Azrael. And I just like,
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
such a
That was cool
cool.
too.
I
Yeah. It helped
really,
distinguish it. Yeah, that was neat.
I thought like, oh,
That's
so
a
just
great
like
point.
all
I,
around good. I'm trying to think who else like. I know in like the Avengers books, Thor has like kind of a scripty like
okay. Something
text,
more of a poetic, yeah, sort of talk.
more of like
Okay.
an old school vibe, and like
Yep.
Tony Stark, especially when he's in like his Iron Man costume, will have like more of like a. It looks more like a digital like readout. And I think those are so cool, especially when you have so many characters. And not that this
Agreed.
had like a ton of characters where you.
It wasn't overwhelming. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that's interesting, especially how like they it was like an inner monologue.
Yep.
So just having just the two like really I feel like made it a lot better or easy. I think it makes it easier to digest.
Hmm.
Um so for next week, how are we going to do this? Not
How do you want to
not to jump,
spoil it?
yeah, not to jump too far ahead, but so um I figure actually I did think we could just roll for it. Ooh, I'll get my Chicago dice.
Oh
All right,
boy.
Colin, call it. Odds or even?
Even.
That's 11.
Oh,
That
damn.
is.
All right. All
Oh,
right.
you can't even see.
It's all good.
so, so I'll come next week with it, and
Okay.
I'll sort of give a book report,
Okay.
and then so that way you have 2 weeks to come with whatever you want.
Hell yeah. All right. Bet I'm gonna just maybe hold off on reading that X-Men issue then, and for that trade. So that'd
Yeah.
be
Oh
cool.
my gosh, that would be awesome too.
You can
Because
think
didn't you
you've
say
got the
that's a
break.
didn't you say
Yeah,
that's
lead
a
up to
lead
what
up
you
to?
got. Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect. Because I have the Days of Future Past one, like I told you.
Mhm.
So then
Yeah.
maybe then I'll just read that after.
Yeah. No, but that should I not spoil it then? Should I pick something else?
Nah, no, no, no. Do whatever you want. I was sort of thinking again. I don't know how book clubs work because have not been a part of anyone. And you know what's actually funny? I was looking today if there's any comic book clubs near
Mhm.
me because I was like, oh, there's got to be something. Like this is a big city.
Yeah.
There's a bunch
Yeah,
of comic book shops, and the
for sure.
only thing that popped up is my shop. Like there's a meeting once a week, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
That's crazy.
I could have just been going there.
Yeah, it's
Um,
actually
but so yeah, cool. So then I have no idea what I want to do yet because I've been reading this series, but I think it's too like I kind of told you about it before, but I think it might be too much to talk
going
about it.
on.
Yeah. So maybe I'll bring something else.
Yeah,
But yeah,
looking forward to it.
hell yeah. All right, dog. I
All right.
will I will talk to you soon.
Sounds good. I did promise Marina I'd say hi for her. She's like, please tell Antonio I said hi. She
Dude,
was waiting
okay.
for the vid to
Dude,
drop. I don't know if you posted it yet, but
I did. Oh my gosh,
okay.
dude, that's so funny that you say that because
Yeah.
literally this whole time I was like, I don't know. I didn't know if I like. I don't want to ask because I literally I was texting Doran today. Oh
Uh-huh.
my gosh, wait,
Oh,
wait, wait.
did he tell you how pissed